How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another day of 7th grade math.
Shh. Hey,
Huh?
that's the wrong channel.
What do you mean? Oh, this is not that's not this channel.
Oh, it's not.
What do you mean? But we're gonna be doing some math over here.
Because you know, MTV Alex is about bikes, not math.
What do you mean MPB Alex doesn't do math?
So you got this?
Well, this one, we are gonna be doing some math.
Well, at least tell them that if they haven't subscribed, to go ahead and subscribe and turn the notification bell on so they don't miss any future content. And if they want to support the channel, that there's a link down in the description. Other than that, it's all you.
Okay, let's try this again then. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is Alex, MTV Alex, and today we're gonna be doing some math. So, if you might be asking, what do you mean we're gonna be doing some math today? So yes, it came across to me that previously I seen videos or read about the cassette percentage. And it kind of got me intrigued because what does that mean? Like 500% ratio or 511% ratio, things like that, things of that nature. And it kind of got me intrigued on what that was like. So it got me into doing a little bit of research, and this is what I was able to acquire. So for that, we're gonna be using a little notebook, sketch pad over here, and I'm gonna try to explain to the best of my knowledge. Hopefully you guys understand what this is about. So many times you've probably seen, what is a 500% gear range means. And this is what got me into actually making this video. And with a little bit of research, I was able to find out that there's a formula to calculate all this. Now, once I'm done with the video, with the explanation, I'm gonna tell you what I think about this. So basically, the percentage figures refers to the gear range of the cassette, okay? So these numbers are gonna represent the gear range of the cassette, the difference between the smallest and the highest gear on the cassette. And this is how it's calculated. So basically, it's a really two-step equation or problem kind of thing like that. So all you have to do is divide the highest tooth cog divided by the smallest tooth cog. For example, for the sake of simplicity, let's say I have a 12-speed cassette, and the range is gonna be from 10 to 50 tooth. That's the range of my cassette. To find the percentage of that is super simple. All we have to do is divide the highest tooth divided by the smallest tooth. So in this case, we're gonna have 50 divided by 10, which is gonna give us 5. Everybody agrees with that? And to find the percentage, we have to multiply by 100. So in this case, it's gonna be a 500% gear range. The difference between the smallest cog and the highest cog, or the highest speed and the lower speed, is gonna be 500%. It's that easy. So I'm gonna do some of the most common ones that we can find somehow. A 50 tooth cassette is a really common one. However, I do have a couple of bikes that have a 10 to 52 tooth cassette on my 2 polygons. So I have a 10 to 52. It's also a 12 speed. The number of speed really doesn't matter, doesn't play any effect in this formula. So for this one, I'm gonna do 52 tooth divided by 10, which is the smallest cog. So that's gonna be 5.2. And then you're gonna take that number and you're gonna multiply by 100. So in this one, I'm gonna have a 520 gear range. On my 2 polygons, my 6QT8 and my Mount Bromo N7, I have this setup right here. Now, some of the other common ones is gonna be a 46 tooth cassette. Usually, with the 46 tooth cassette, you have most likely it's gonna be a an 11 tooth high gear. So you're gonna have an 11 to 46. You can also find 11 to 50. Let's do 11 to 50, because that's what I have on my 11-speed group set that I had on my Axum. I had that configuration, 11 to 50 tooth. So this one is gonna be 50 divided by 11, which gives me 4.54, the 54 repeats. When you multiply times 100, you get 454 gear range. 0.54, so this can be 455%. That's a common one. Another common one is gonna be with the high range of 46, so another 11 to 46. For this one, again, 46 divided by 11 is gonna give you 4.18 repeating, and then you multiply times 100 and you're gonna get 418%. Is that simple? That simple. Let's do two more common ones. A lot of people with the Axums right there and the Mongoose Otters, you have this type of cassette. So you might have a 11 to 42. So this is gonna be 42 divided by 11, which is gonna give you 3.81. Repeating. When you multiply times 100, you get 382% once you round up. Okay. The other common one, 11 to 40. That's the stock one from the Axum, just in case you were wondering. So this is 40 divided by 11. So this is 40 divided by 11, which gives you 3.63. Repeating times 100, and when you round up the percentage, you get 364%. Now there's some other ones that have like 14 to 42, and this is again 40 divided by 14 gives you 2.86 times 100 is gonna be 286%. That's simple. Now, if you're asking, what if I have a 2x? Okay, because there's gonna be scenarios where you're gonna have a 2x at the front chain set. Okay, you're gonna have 2 rings at the front and then your cassette at the back. We're also gonna have a formula for that, and it's gonna be similar to this, where you're gonna add something else. So for example, if my front chain ring, so we're gonna do 2x. If my front, I have, for example, a 36 and a 24 tooth. And I have a cassette, I don't know, 11 to 36 tooth cassette. We have a formula for this, and we can do this with any combination that you can find out there. So for example, on this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and divide the front chain set. Okay, so we're gonna divide the bigger chain set divided by the smaller chains, the bigger chain ring divided by the smaller chain. So for example, we're gonna divide the front chain set. So we're gonna divide the bigger chain ring divided by the smaller chain ring at the front. So we're gonna have 36 divided by 24 in this case. Okay. And then we're gonna divide this and we're gonna get 1.5. That's what we get, 1.5. And then we're gonna divide the cassette just like we did previously. Now for the cassette, we're gonna divide just like we did before, 36 divided by 11, and in this case we're gonna get 3.27 repeating. Okay, So now what we're gonna do is go ahead and multiply what I got from the division of the front chain set. 36 divided by 24 is 1.5, and the division of the rear cassette, 36 divided by 11, which is 3.27. So I'm gonna multiply 1.5 times 3.27, and I'm gonna get 4.90. Repeating. So the gear ratio for this one is gonna be 490%. And that's that simple. Now, if you ask me, why do we need to know this? Well, I really don't know. I just thought it's just like maybe you clicked in this because you were wondering as well. So they say 500% gear range, 520 gear range. What is that? So as of right now, I think the highest, the bigger cassette out there is a 12-speed 10 to 52, maybe a 9 to 52, something like that. So I guess it's just advertisement trying to get people to look into that. So if you see something along the lines of 520% cassette compared to a, I don't know, 364% cassette, well, the higher number always means better, right? So that's why I think they started using these percentages like that. So yeah, if you look at the two of them, 520% cassette compared to a 364%, which one are you more prone to buy? Well, bigger is always better, right? So in this case, it actually makes sense, something like that. But I just wanted to dig into how those numbers came about. Now, what if I have a 3-buy? That's a good question. I haven't found anything on 3-buys. So I guess it's gonna be very similar to a 2-buy. Maybe divide the biggest chain ring on the front and the smallest chain ring on the front, and then do the same thing for the rear cassette. I think that's probably how it might work, but I haven't been able to figure something out or find anything online on 3-buy systems. And that's probably because they're not that popular anymore, but that's just what I was able to find. And hopefully you guys actually learned something today. Now, I don't want to leave or stop the video before actually saying thanks to Carlos Barraza and Total Craftwork for buying me a cup of coffee. You guys rock. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the channel. Thank you for your contribution, and God bless you guys for reals. And yeah. So without further ado, if you found this video interesting, if you want to support the channel just like Total Craftwork and Carlos Barraza, there's a link for you where you can do that. And if you haven't, please go ahead and consider subscribing and turn the notification bell on so you don't miss any future content. You can also find me on Instagram on Alex at AlexMTV84. And yeah, so if you're interested in something like this, or maybe you clicked in this one, maybe you were searching something like that as well, or maybe you weren't, but you're just looking at this because you happen to be subscribed to my channel, and now you know. And if you were just wondering and never able to figure out what those things means, hopefully you learned something today with me. And if you want to see my 7th grade math channel, is Mr. Gomez. I'll leave a link for you over there. I always leave a link for y'all. And I teach 7th grade math, and I almost upload a video almost daily. Every time I teach something new in class, I upload that video. Maybe your son, your daughter might need some 7th grade math help. Your niece, nephew, maybe you are around 11 to 13 years old and you're in 7th grade. My other channel will actually help you out. So other than that, that is going to be it for this one. I hope that you learned something today, and I will see you on the trails. Goodbye.